yourself. Come in to say hello. Hiya. So today, I was struggling. Say hello to Totoro. He has LEDs. I was struggling with kind of topics to be talking to you about this week, and then suddenly it occurred to me that I've seen a lot of binary trans people do like kind of like am I trans enough videos, but I haven't. I mean, it's not to say it's out there, but I haven't seen a lot of like non-binary people do the thing of sort of questioning their transness. But that could also just be because I'm a bit dim and haven't seen it. But I thought, you know what, I will address the issue. And then as soon as I decided to do that, I stumbled across a video that I don't want to link you guys to. I don't want you to go to. I don't want anyone to watch because it made me angry. But I can tell you who the poster is and you can look it up yourself. Just, I'm going to do the thing that most YouTubers do. Don't go crazy with the abuse and things like that. Because, like, you know, I'm all for standing up for yourself and things like that. But, like, ultimately we're not bullies. Please, if you are a bully, I don't know how you would recognise that. But if you do, please change that. I don't like bullies, which is actually one of the reasons why I don't particularly like this person's video, but it does tie into the am I trans enough kind of thing, in the sense of this person, Miss London, has openly stated that basically there's no such thing as sort of genderqueer, non-binary, etc. None of the middle terms are real, and that basically she's what's known as true scum. She's trans herself, and seems to be proud of her kind of true scum status. I'm not sure that I would ever be proud of something that makes other people feel horrendous about themselves. But a lot of what she was saying in her very short video that she did in response to Ash Hardell, in general, I think, Ash Hardell may be coming out as trans, I don't know, there was something. But it came out last week, and yeah, I was watching it today just purely by accident, and kind of it reminded me that it isn't up to any of us on an outside, sort of as an outsider, to decide whether or not a person is trans enough. You feel like you're trans? You're trans. Looking at you. No, because I mean, it's something that I've debated for a very, very long time, in that I didn't feel like I was trans enough because I didn't feel like I identified with either binary, naturally. And I didn't think that could be treated. I didn't think this was a thing. I just thought, you know what, I'm just a me. Let's leave it at that. And it got worse, and my dysphoria didn't go away. In fact, it sort of came back in waves and getting harder each time. I did a lot of questioning. I'm sure my friends could sort of list off a whole bunch of things of me kind of going, but if I like my boobs being touched, does that make me more or less trans than blah blah blah? Because I do like them being touched, I'll be honest. Does it make me more or less trans because, you know, there are some aspects of my femininity I enjoy, etc, etc. I mean, like, I've got them out today, but that's just because it's getting too warm for me to wear my binder. That, and also I rarely wear it these days because it causes me such untold sort of dysphoria and discomfort. But I think that's all to do with weight relation, sort of weight related as well. Because yeah, anyway, that's for a whole different video. Oh. So yeah, I spent a lot of time kind of questioning whether or not my, like, I don't know, even just stupid things like my ability to allow myself to be touched in certain places, does that then mean that I'm not trans? You know, like, oh look, I can have someone touch me sexually, that must mean I'm not trans. It's not true. As I have discovered. But yeah, basically, especially my kind of time just before I went to the gender clinic, I started to really question things. I didn't necessarily doubt myself in so much as I was just sort of questioning what things meant, and what would happen, and I didn't know the future, which is daft, but every person that suffers with anxiety, I think, has this problem of going, I don't know what's gonna happen next. So yeah, I sort of kind of went through a massive phase of questioning what gender meant to me, what aspects of being female I did enjoy. There aren't many, but there are some, like, not necessarily the social aspects, but like the physical stuff. In some ways I enjoy it, in others I really don't. It's one of the things that sort of I get stressed about top surgery with, actually, because I want top surgery. I want to run around topless and, like, you know, not give myself black eyes, basically. But at the same time, I think I've mentioned this before. If not, it was in my head when I was doing one of the videos, but I'm a little concerned about losing sensitivity in my nipples, because they're quite nice. Sorry, Mum and Dad, if you're watching this. I don't think you are, but if you are, sorry. Yeah, that sort of stuff. And I think every trans person at some point goes through at least once, if not several times, of questioning whether this is actually all real, whether it's whether they fit into the kind of bracket that trans is. It took me sort of going to the gender clinic and talking to like counsellors about my gender identity for me to suddenly feel validated and like I was in the right place and doing the right thing. And it hurts, actively hurts, to have someone who identifies as trans turn around and tell you that you're just confused, which is what this Miss London was saying. You know, like, oh, you know, that it's you're just confused, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not confused. In fact, I think this is the least confused I've been in a very long time. Because I'm suddenly in a position where I can be me and I can do the things that I feel fit me. I don't identify as a man or a woman. I will happily sort of, you know, put that out there now. And yeah, I don't know, it just, hearing those words sort of thrown back at me. Okay, it wasn't directly about me, but it might as well have been. Because, you know, Ash Hardell is non-binary, just like I am. We don't have exactly the same symptoms, nobody does, but when the trans community attacks each other like that, and it, you know, sort of yeah, just like I said, attacks, it makes you, well, it certainly makes me kind of feel, sort of question, like, we're all in this together. This is a horrible, horrible fight to go through, and we are all going through it together. Why not make it easier on other people? Why not hold hands together and sort of put your fists up in solidarity and kind of do things that way? Why belittle other people's journeys and things like that? So, in answer to my own question, am I trans enough? Yes, I am. I've had it not just validated by my own way of thinking, but by medical professionals. So, again, Miss London, if you're looking for proof, hi, I exist. The gender clinic has told me I exist. The sort of various other governing bodies and things like that that need to have told me I exist. I have told myself I exist. I've come out to myself. This is the most important thing, is if you think you're trans enough, you are. Like, that's it. Don't let anyone else tell you that you are or you aren't. Just listen to the little voice inside. And if you are, and you need some help, feel free to contact me or contact someone else who can give you help on anything. Whatever brand of trans that you think you are, seek help from friends and from doctors. And if one doctor isn't willing to help you, go to another and another and another. Eventually you'll get there, I swear. But yes, so, I mean, if we want to go into the kind of semantics of things, I did this once ages ago. Trans, I think, is Greek, like linguistic origin thing, but it means opposite. So if you're wanting to go into the kind of semantics of being trans, you would need to, well, not the semantics, but the sort of correct linguistic breakdown, if you like, of being trans. There would be some part of you might sort of necessarily identify with the opposite of what you are, what you were sort of born with, if you like. I identify as transmasculine. I do not identify as transmale. But given the fact that that's part of the sort of spectrum on the other side, I'm still going for the opposition, and therefore can happily call myself trans. But the thing is that there are some people who identify as non-binary, who are, say, born female and identify as female, feminine. Some would say, not me, I'm literally going into the linguistic sort of pedantry of this, if you like. Some would say that the bracket doesn't apply to you. I'm not going to say that, because I have come to understand that trans, certainly these days, we're not living in ancient Greek times, these days doesn't necessarily have to mean opposite. It can just be not what you're born with, or not what you are born. So for instance, if you are rejecting society's model of femininity, but you're still, you're born female, etc., etc., that's fine. Like, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. You can call yourself trans, whatever, really. I'm not about to tell the world how to label themselves. I don't particularly like labels these days, but I recognise the need for them. So, ta-da! Anyway, that's my rant on kind of being trans enough, and possibly on true scum and the dangers of being true scum. It is dangerous, by the way, to tell someone who has things like gender dysphoria that they don't exist. Not cool. Yes, there are some people out there who aren't stable enough to see that your opinion is just an opinion. Sometimes they take it as fact. And here's the thing, Miss London, you were asking for facts. You were asking for proof of non-binary being sort of a thing. Apart from, if you look at the likes of myself and Hardell, as being living proof. How can you prove that? What sort of proof do you need to prove that you're non-binary, or to prove that non-binary exists? So that's this week's film done. But I wanted to show you something that I got. Okay, yeah, I bought him for myself like years ago though. So, some of you may or may not know, but it's up and coming to a specific time of year for us queers, where we get to go out and shout at things and wave flags. So in honour of this, I bought myself a non-binary genderqueer flag thing, and it's really cute. Oh, it smells nice. But yeah, this is it, and it looks really cute. I'm gonna get the other one because one of you might be able to explain this. What is the difference between, say, this flag and the one that has like yellow and grey and purple and black, I think, on it? This just looks like the suffragette colours. But yeah, so one of you may be able to explain that to me, who knows. But what I'm going to do at some point is hang that up so that I can have it hanging behind me, so that I can have like a kind of filming backdrop. And it'll look awesome. Anyway, so yeah. Also, I just kind of wanted to sort of follow up on my mental health clip this week. My mental health actually sort of, in accordance with Mental Health Awareness Week, it seems to have taken a massive kind of, not nosedive, because that implies it's gone down, but it's gone like a roller coaster. And I think that that's possibly because of daylight savings time, because whenever we go into British summertime or into wintertime, I'm opening up this, by the way, which is my incense cones. I tend to go a bit nuts at the seasonal changes. So yeah, I haven't been that well, which is also why I think this is possibly late. You decide if it's late. Yeah, but anyway, so I'm gonna go burn my incense, chill out, and see if there's any good movies on my Fire Stick that I want to watch. I have such a rock and roll lifestyle. Alright, bye bye YouTube, bye bye now.